Greenville, South Carolina, the site for today's South Atlantic Conference Championship matchup. It is Lenoir-Rhyne and Anderson, the 3 and the 4 seeds, out of the Piedmont Division for this contest. One of these two teams will get their third ever South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship. Hi again, everybody, and welcome here to Furman University with Andrew Rogers. I'm Michael Watrang as we get set for tip-off. Andrew, I think a week ago, not a lot of people would have picked that these two teams would be in the finals, but these clubs are playing great basketball at the right time.
They're both playing really good basketball, Michael. We're talking about a Lenoir-Rhyne team that has won 2 games to get here. Same with Anderson, both with winning streaks at the end of the regular season. They're playing really good basketball, both teams. Really good backcourts, really good front courts. It's a balanced attack on both sides. Should be an exciting game. It's been an exciting weekend already.
There's plenty of star power in this matchup between these two clubs, and first and foremost, we go to Lenoir-Rhyne and what they have to offer from a star perspective, and that is Emily Harmon. Harmon, a 3-time all-conference selection. She's having a terrific year again. She has dominated Anderson in her career, 26 points per game, while Brittany Stafford on the other side has been held to just 9 points in the 2 meetings.
Yeah, 2 stellar point guards, 2 really star guards that can get their points, but they're also facilitators. They can get it done in both areas. Both players come alive toward the end of games. Stafford was big yesterday in the semifinal victory, knocking down key free throws down the stretch. Same with Harmon. So both will be instrumental to both teams' offenses, scoring and delivering.
Each player has averaged 14 points per game so far in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament, and we're getting close to tip-off. Anderson is here for the 4th time in the last 5 years, while Lenoir-Rhyne is in the finals for the first time since 2014. Which club gets a championship for the 3rd time in school history? Will it be the 3rd-seeded Bears, or will it be the 4th-seeded Anderson Trojans? Starting lineups and tip-off coming your way next in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship matchup between Lenoir-Rhyne and Anderson here on Flow Sports.
You can feel it as you approach. You can feel it from the mountains, from the river, from the front porches and the bike paths, from the bats and the balls, from the main streets and the not-so-main streets. You can't help but feel that it's different here, more refreshing here, so that after a few days here, you'll feel different too. Greenville, South Carolina. Truly the breath of fresh air you've been waiting for.
National Anthem wraps up here inside of Timmons Arena, and it's time to take a look at the starting lineups, and we begin with a look at Lenoir-Rhyne's starting five for Coach Graham Smith in his third season with Lenoir-Rhyne. We talked about Harmon at the outset. Azaria Fields leads the team in assists. Lansdale's the team's leader in three-pointers. Hannah Stoll does everything, and Crooks is the team's leading scorer.
Yeah, a five-guard look here, Michael, and it's deceiving because Lansdale is 6 foot tall. Crooks is nearly there. She's about 5'10", 5'11". So those two are going to be critical in the rebounding aspect against, look at Anderson's lineup, a team that's got a couple of front court players and a few players off the bench as well.
Anderson, very tall lineup out there. 2 6-foot players in McDowell and Brittany Bailey. Jalen Sperlin out there with Zan Rowland and Brittany Stafford as that starting lineup. For Jonathan Barbary's group in his 7th season, a 2-time Conference Coach of the Year. Great to have you on board with us today with Andrew Rogers. I'm Michael Watring. It is McDowell and Stoll, and McDowell wins it for Anderson, and we are underway in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship game. Right corner, it's Bailey. These two teams played earlier this season. LR won both matchups, and Bailey a mid-range jump shot. Excellent start for the Trojans.
Early high-low action. Bailey trying to do it from the corner that time, was given some space to knock down that jump shot, which she will shoot, not regularly, but can knock it down.
Bailey so far 27 points in the conference tournament. Opens the scoring here. Harmon has had some great games against the Trojans in her career. Fields gets all the way to the cylinder, kicks it out for Crooks. And she travels, took that extra step. A traveling violation, and an LR team that is stingy with the basketball turns it over on its first possession. Stafford to set up the offense. McDowell, Sperlin flashes. Mid-range game is her strong suit, and she cashes in her first jumper.
Same exact play call, except instead of Bailey keeping it in the far corner, I think maybe it was McDowell that possession. You find the cutter Sperlin, got a little bit of space to rise and find.
Trying to get the ball inside for Stoll. Forces a shot up, and a foul is called on Brittany Bailey. And that'll send Hannah Stoll to the free throw line. Well, Anderson does it with their strength underneath blocking shots. They have great size off the bench, but Stoll has been absolutely terrific filling up the stat sheet for LR. .81% foul shooter, knocks in the first. LR is on the board. 23-win ball club for the Bears. And they're within 2 here in the early going. One of these two teams will get their 3rd title. LR won it in 2003 and 09. Sperlin all the way to the rack, and she slips it in.
It's too easy. Anderson's gotten 3 really good looks. The worst one is probably the deep jump shot from the mid-range that Bailey took, but the other 2 shots from Sperlin are right where she wants to be.
She averages 18 a game in the conference tournament so far. Harmon used the ball fake. Her mid-range floater game is always on point, and she drops in her first shot.
That's a fun matchup to watch all day. Zan Rowland on Emily Harmon. Rowland was able to shut down Lyko in the quarterfinal. Did a good job on Clark yesterday of Wingate, too.
Well, Sperlin aggressive early. She has 6 of the first 8 for Anderson. And the Trojans continue to maintain their early advantage. Anderson has made all 4 of its shots so far. LR has made its lone field goal attempt. Man defense for Anderson. Harmon gets going, goes behind the back, gets all the way to the glass and puts it in with the left hand. Emily Harmon, so solid at getting to the basket. Sperlin already has 6. McDowell, she can hit it from out there and hits another. Diamond McDowell from long range. She's made 50% of her three-pointers in the last month and connects on her first 2.
I'm not sure if either of these 2 teams are going to miss. 7 shots toward the rim, 7 makes.
first miss, but Fields cleans it up with a tip in. Anderson by 3 here at the early going of this one. Big crowd here inside of Timmons Arena. Rolling through the elevator. 10 on the shot clock for McDowell. Stafford lobs to Bailey, and they get a push on Crooks. Now 2 arms in the backside and a foul whistle. Anderson has started 5 of 5 from the floor in the game.
Initial defense here from Crooks. Got Bailey toward the high post. Just the shove at the end wasn't really needed because Bailey was already pushed off the block.
And a foul whistled on Stoll after the inbound. She picks up her first. Those are 2 critical pieces down low. They do bring Brandy Hudson off the bench. A forward that has that great skill underneath to be able to score. McDowell, mid-range jump shot this time around. And the first miss for Anderson on the day. Had started 5 of 5. Harmon looks to run and then turns it over. Sperlin, great pace to the front court. A right-hand layup, too strong. And then she commits the foul. Harmon able to get the rebound, the team leader in the category. And after making the mistake, she's able to get the stop of the rebound.
Good defensive play here by Sperlin. Anticipates the pass from Harmon. Able to jump into the passing lane. Give credit to Fields, though. Didn't really do much, but did enough to get back on defense to do enough to alter the shot.
Harmon, step back jump shot this time, wide left. Anderson, great on the glass all season long, and they clear it. 3-point Trojan lead here in the final. McDowell on the left block, left-hand layup off the window and down. Excellent start for the Trojans. They've made 6 of the first 8.
There's just so many ways this team could beat you. Sperlin with an early 6, now McDowell getting her early points offensively. Stafford hasn't even looked at the basket yet. So many different options.
Fields, and Sperlin beat. Still slips in the layup though. Excellent work by Azaria Fields. 3-point ball game. Anderson has had the stranglehold of the lead throughout. McDowell gallops to the left block. Strong on this shot attempt. Crooks the rebound. Harmon looks to run. Flares it for Fields on the baseline. Nice pocket pass underneath. Stoll that missed the layup. Anderson continues to lead by 3. Both teams shooting above 60%. Ansedell knocks the ball out of play. And it brings us to our first pause in play. Electrifying start to the game. Anderson's led by as many as 5. It's 3 right now in the conference tournament final on FloSports.
Sure, we've been around a while. 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
You can feel it as you approach. You can feel it from the mountains, from the river, from the front porches and the bike paths, from the bats and the balls, from the main streets and the not-so-main streets. You can't help but feel that it's different here, more refreshing here, so that after a few days here, you'll feel different too. Greenville, South Carolina. Truly the breath of fresh air you've been waiting for.
Anderson has made 6 of its first 9 shots from the floor. And this is a Trojans team that last season lost by 25 in the final to a determined Carson-Newman ball club. And they have been in the finals now in 4 of the last 5 years and looking for their 3rd league championship. And their first since 2019. They have the ball on the baseline. Bailey catches. Hoists up the jump shot and splashes it in. 4 from Bailey early, the lead back to 5.
Both of these teams, and it's no surprise to see the high shooting starting in the club. Anderson scored 25 in the opening quarter yesterday. Lenoir-Rhyne scored 23 in their semifinal matchup. Both teams take high percentage shots, and they're going down right now.
Harmon, mid-range, missed, gets her own rebound. Brooks, air ball. Harmon again, she swarms the floor. LR reset, shot clock sits at 9. Down to 5 as Gathers catches. Gathers draws a foul. No, they call a traveling violation. Thought they were going to call the foul there, but as she was trying to slip through, she walked. Turnover number 3 for Lenoir-Rhyne. 5-point ball game. Great to have you on board here on Championship Sunday. The women's game first, men's game. NBA Wise and Catawba coming up at 4. McDowell getting to the block, leans in but missed the shot. And after she got her paws on it, it falls loose and Fields picks it up. LR gets the stop defensively and the rebound. Fields, offensive foul is whistled. Her first personal foul. Good work by Sperlin, and that could have been a big one. That could have been her second.
I think Fields gets away with lowering her shoulder here on the drive just a little bit, and enough contact with Sperlin in good defensive position to draw the charge.
Anderson back on the basketball. An opportunity for their largest lead of the game so far on this trip. Bailey. 3-second violation whistle on McDowell. He's having a conversation with the official. Veteran group of officials for this one. 5-point Anderson lead. LR has not scored in nearly 2.5 minutes. Brooks loves that mid-range jump shot, has missed 2 though. Stafford the rebound. Brooks on the overplay, a deflection and a pilfer. Harmon, top of the key, uses the ball fake, and the spin cycle. Couldn't finish at the rim for Emily Harmon. She started 2 of 5 from the field, and we're stuck on a 5-point game here with 2.5 to go in the opening frame.
Turnovers for Anderson is what killed them in 2 losses to LR in the regular season. Lenoir-Rhyne forced 39 Anderson turnovers in the 2 meetings.
Traveling violation on Diamond McDowell. 3rd turnover for Anderson. They haven't scored in nearly 2.5 minutes.
Turnovers really only kill you if the opponent can get out and run and score off of them. LR scored 45 points off those 39 turnovers in the 2 meetings. So if Anderson's going to turn the basketball over, you'll live with the dead ball.
Fields does make him pay at the end of it all, snapping a 3-minute, 12-second scoring drought. It's back down to 3. Anderson has led throughout. They made their first 5 shots of the game. Made just 2 of the last 6. Stafford has yet to pull the trigger. She sends it over to McDowell. Bailey, a jump shot from the corner. Feeling it from long range, but misses that opportunity. A large chance to get within 1 or tie it up. Fields so aggressive early. She has 8 points, averages 9 for the year.
Such a good take. That's good defense, too, from the Trojans. Just a better shot, though, from Fields. Only has 10 games in double figures all year, but showing out here in the championship game.
Randy Hudson commits the personal foul as Stafford goes to the free throw line. Stafford 9 of 12 in the tournament. Her free throw percentage has dropped from 94 to 91%. And a brutal stretch for her, missing 3 free throws in 2 games. First free throw, straight down the hatch from Stafford. Stafford transferring from Incarnate Word. Makes the second foul shot, 3-point game, 17-14. And first we see Delia Wilson, and boy was she an injection of energy yesterday in the semifinal.
Yeah, certainly played an important role off the bench and limited action, nearly had a double-double. McDowell and Bailey, the starting front court players, had double-doubles, and if Wilson probably had maybe 3 to 4 more minutes, she would have joined them.
Harmon wants a three and rains it down. Emily Harmon shoots it at 29% from long range. She has 7, and we're tied at 17, under a minute to play in the first. Sperlin got off to a quick start, misses her first shot of the game. LR a chance for their first lead of the game. Gathers, collects. Harmon left alone. Hits another one. Emily Harmon makes it a personal 6-0 surge and the first lead of the day for the Bears.
It's all set up because when LR gets that defensive rebound, they get out and run, but they space the floor, so when Fields gets that ball in the left corner, she's immediately able to attack the closeout and find the open Harmon. Excellent transition basketball.
Maybe a half-second differential here. Anderson can play for the final shot. McDowell, good post position. Misses the shot. Hudson has it. Harmon from half court does not get it off in time. But Emily Harmon with 10 early points. She averages 26 in her career against Anderson. And it's the Bears with the early haymaker at the end of the first. 6 unanswered. And a 2017 Lenoir-Rhyne lead after 10 minutes of play. Hang with us. Good basketball here in Greenville in the title game on Flow Sports.
This is Catawba College, where you can feel at home for the next 4 years. This is where your tomorrow takes shape.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
If you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're back here in Greenville where Lenoir-Rhyne makes its final 4 shots of the opening 10 minutes to take a 20-17 lead. And they found some defensive rhythm as well after Anderson made its first 5. Trojans missed 7 of the last 9 of the opening 10 minutes. But what an effort by Emily Harmon so far in this game. 10 points, 5 rebounds. She's determined for this LR group to guide this team to a title for the first time in 15 years.
Saw that stat comparison coming out of the break. Anderson's got to win the rebounding battle. 10-4 in favor of the Bears already against an Anderson Trojans team that loves to crash the glass. They got to win that category.
0 offensive rebounds as well. Stahl on the baseline, cashes in the jump shot. 5 straight makes for LR, and it's an 8-0 run for the Bears to take a 5-point lead. Anderson looking to put an end to this. McDowell 5 points early. Team's leading scorer, number 4 in black. Sets the screen for Rowland, gets open, pulls the trigger on a 3. This one rattles out, and it's tapped out of play. Wilson the last to touch it. 22-17. Lenoir-Rhyne leads it. These two teams have played once in the SAC tournament before. That was in 2019, the semifinals. Anderson won it by a dozen, en route to their second championship. Hudson played good minutes down the stretch, and she travels. That is turnover number 5 for Lenoir-Rhyne. That is uncharacteristic, a team that averages just 13 per game this year.
Good job by Hudson. Faces up, just takes that extra step trying to get around Nia Wilson, who did a good job to wall off. Stayed in front of Hudson on the defensive effort.
Anderson hasn't scored in over 2 minutes. Wilson called for a 3-second violation.
We're going to get a replay of this. Wilson, look how far out that she is pushed on that initial catch, almost all the way out to the free throw line on that initial catch, forcing her to then face up, and by the time she's there and thinks about what she wants to do with the ball, she's been in there for 3-4 seconds, and the official will call it every time.
Harmon normally makes that shot, but these rims a little stingy at times. 5-point Lenoir-Rhyne lead and a foul whistle. Fields on the backside, and that's a big development. That's her second personal foul with 8:23 to go in the first half. But the trust that Graham Smith has in the Mount Olive grad transfer to leave her on the floor. Sperlin posting up. That is a tough angle on that shot. Doesn't get it to fall in, and yet again, one and done for Anderson. Gathers left open. Leads the team in threes. Misses this opportunity, though. Wilson the rebound. Lenoir-Rhyne leads by 5.
All set up by good spacing, good cutting from all 4 perimeter players for LR to set up the open look. Just missed by Gathers.
Rowland gets a running start. Her teardrop swirls out. Numbers here for Lenoir-Rhyne. 4-on-2 break. Harmon picks out Stull, and that allows Anderson to get back defensively. Fields, been hot early. Hudson on the block, misses that layup attempt. Anderson needs a bucket. They haven't scored in 3 minutes. Sperlin cannot cash in. Trojans going cold. This is what happened last year against Carson-Newman in the final. And the Eagles were able to blow things open and win by a league record 25 in the final. Harmon, step back, jump shot, too strong here. She's getting good looks. Anderson gets a Lenoir-Rhyne gets a recycle. Anderson can't grab the board. Minutes into the second, we've seen just 2 points. Hudson called for a travel.
We've seen that a few times now, especially from the Bears. Now 6 turnovers for a team that doesn't turn the ball over that often. +9 in the turnover margin on average per game. -2 right now, though, and Anderson, despite 0 offensive rebounds and only 7 total rebounds, only down 5 in the offense, has struggled a little bit on this end.
They missed 8 straight field goals, make it 9. Bailey saves it in, but it's to Harmon. Stull in transition, catch, shoot, splashdown from Hannah Stull. 11 unanswered for the Bears.
Probably an ill-advised save from Bailey, threw it back into play. Anderson had both Wilson and Bailey trailing the play, and allows LR to take advantage and Stull to knock down the jump shot.
Bailey on the baseline, misses the shot. 10 straight misses. Harmon, teardrop, falling to her left, misses it, gets her own rebound. More offensive rebounding. Stull feels good about that one. Rippling the rope from outside. It's a 14-0 LR run. Bears heating up from long range, and it's Hannah Stull, a 29% three-point shooter, tickling the time twice. And LR has opened up an 11-point lead. Timeout on the floor. Can Anderson get back in this one? Down 11 in the final on Flow Sports.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are, a community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Lenoir-Rhyne is heating up. Hannah Stoll is buried back-to-back trifectas. And the Bears have scored 14 points in a row. And Anderson is going on 9 minutes without a field goal. And it's 28-17, Lenoir-Rhyne seeking its third championship. And on top here in the first half. Back with Adam Cavalier and Andrew Rogers, Michael Wattrey. Happy to have you on board for the SAC tournament final. Stafford makes it 11 misses in a row. Gathers, sweeps through the lane, misses the shot. Another offensive rebound. That's number 6 for Lenoir-Rhyne. And Andrew, if we would have told you at the beginning of the game that the offensive rebound count would be 6-0 LR midway through the second, you'd realize that LR is in control.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the better offensive rebounding teams in Anderson got a combined 31 in the 2 meetings in the regular season, and they've got 0, and LR's got 7, or 5, I should say, so far. Impressive stuff from the Bears.
Anderson needs a bucket. Wilson puts the shot up, misses it. 12 in a row. That can't go in. 14 unanswered for LR. Brooks doesn't get the friendly roll, but gets her own miss. Lansadell for 3. It is perfect. And they're going to check whether or not that three-pointer will go down. But Lansadell hits it. They called a foul as well.
It's all set up by the offensive rebound. Brooks finds the open shooter. I think it's a push away from the ball. Question may be whether that foul was committed before the three-point shot was being attempted by Lansadell. They haven't put the points on the scoreboard yet, but it was signaled a good three-point field goal, so we'll see if that stands.
Harmon already has a double-double. They count the basket, so it's a 17-0 run. And on top of that, it's a foul on Bailey, her second. And LR gets a bonus possession. Anderson led 17-14 with 1:18 to go in the first quarter. Since that point, they have not scored. Huge scoring drought for the Trojans. This is an Anderson team that a win takes all the sweat out of the NCAA tournament selection show tonight. Fields, rare look from outside. She misses it, but another offensive rebound. LR is plus 13 on the glass against the second best rebounding team in the league. And a foul whistled again. Anderson guilty. And this one goes on Bailey, and Bailey has just picked up her third.
Yeah, that's an interesting development. Bailey only has 4 points, but a key component of this balanced Anderson attack. Question for the Trojans, how do they respond? Because they controlled the Carson-Newman game. They broke that game open against Wingate in the second quarter yesterday to hold on to the lead pretty much the entire afternoon. Now they're trailing. How does this team respond, particularly to end this first half?
Stoll attacks Reynolds, who just came into the game. And a 3-second violation whistled. It's the 7th turnover for Lenoir-Rhyne. Well, the Bears know they're in the postseason. They're a 4th ranked team in the region. The automatic bid would certainly be nice with the trophy. Anderson came in 9th. There's been a lot of activity between 5 and 8, including they beat Carson-Newman, who was at 8. The question is, are they safe even without the win today? But certainly want to keep it respectable and not allow the committee to make any other decision. Sheridan splashes a jump shot. It snaps an 11-minute field goal drought. They had missed 12 in a row before Sheridan connects, and it ends that 17-0 burst. Brooks on the baseline, swirls in a shot. First points for Blakely Brooks, the team's leader in scoring.
We talked about Anderson's balance, but that shows how balanced this Bears team is. Fields and Harmon a combined 21 points, and your leading scorer just got on the board and they're up 13.
Reynolds, right place, right time. First, second chance points of the day for Anderson.
Reynolds doesn't see the floor often. 8.5 minutes per game. Kind of that fourth front court player that this Trojans team will go to. Makes the most of her opportunity, though.
Played in 21 games this season. Brooks. That is a tough layup, but a foul is whistled. McDowell called for her first.
Good job by Crooks here. Drives McDowell's closeout. Tough take. And McDowell was in good position, just extended her arm enough. Got into the body of Crooks to commit the foul.
Brooks, terrific foul shooter, 84%. Has been in double figures in 14 consecutive games. Now they're having an issue with the shot clock. The shot clock is stuck at 20. Obviously, you need to get it back to 30, and now the two teams will go back to their respective sidelines while they get this corrected. What's your assessment of this game to this point?
Lenoir-Rhyne has played very well, particularly in this second quarter. They've been able to take advantage of Anderson missed shots, and they've limited the offensive glass. That's where this game has been won right now by Lenoir-Rhyne. They have gotten the defensive rebound, and they've been able to run. That's what's allowed them to get good looks in transition, to shoot 5 of 7 from 3. They're good open looks in transition with the fast break. If Anderson get offensive rebounds, they're probably going to score most of the time. Not every time, but a little over 50% of the time. They're going to get a look, maybe get fouled, extend the possession. But when you don't get an offensive rebound, you're forced to sprint back on defense, and you're not in your half-court set defensively, and you're scrambling on that end.
Officials just explained to us, shot clock issue. Take a look at the stat comparison between these clubs. LR getting in the paint, they're getting second chance points. LR had a total of 10 second chance points in the first 2 meetings. They have 8 in this one.
Yep, that is huge. They've got more points in the paint, but the rebound, 21-9. You would have never thought that with how much size Anderson has. We touched on it when we were introducing the starting lineup to the size matchup, but LR's been quicker to the basketball. They've been able to take advantage of the misses inside, be in the right place at the right time. And the only way the Trojans can get back into this game, it's going to come down to defensive stops, but also creating opportunities, multiple opportunities on the offensive end. They've got to crash the glass and make hay there. McDowell has operated a lot on the perimeter for just her 2 of 8 shooting so far. They got to find a way to get her on the lower block.
Anderson's first appearance in a tournament final was 2013. They've lost back-to-back tournament final appearances in 2020 and 2022. Their last win came back in 2019. They also hoisted the trophy in 2013. Lenoir-Rhyne on the other side. Check that, 4th title game appearance. Last one came in 2014 and lost to Wingate. Wins in 2003 and 2009. With 3 minutes to go. Here in the first half, it is a 12-point game at 34-22.
Michael, if you're Lenoir-Rhyne, you got to be a little upset with this long stoppage. I know they can't control it and the shot clock malfunction here, but this is added time for Anderson to try to figure some things out. This is an early halftime in a way with 2:58 left before the half. This is more time for them to instruct things. While with Lenoir-Rhyne, they just want to keep playing and, continue what rhythm they've been able to build here in the second quarter, outscoring Anderson 14-5. See if this plays a factor down the stretch. It may not, but if it does, you can attribute it to this longer break, allowing Anderson to maybe regroup a little bit for the final 3 minutes.
Well, this is a big 3 minutes. If you're Anderson, you'd certainly like to get this thing down into single digits. Lenoir-Rhyne would be more than content with keeping this at a 12 to 15-point game. Free throw is down from Crooks. LR trailed by as many as 5 in the first period. Didn't take their first lead until Harmon drained a 3 in the waning moments. 13-point game. foul whistled. Reynolds trying to get some position underneath. And Hudson's called for her second personal foul.
Where Anderson goes offensively. No Bailey in the game. We've got Reynolds at that 5 spot with McDowell. Good outside shooters and Sheridan and Spurlin on the floor as well. Tough job.
Spurlin got a look along the baseline, but she misses. Lenoir-Rhyne has been in cruise control in the last 10 game minutes. Very comfortable offensively. Harmon, double-double already. Brooks pulls the trigger on a jump shot. It's too strong. McDowell the rebound. Stafford into the front court. Anderson needs a couple buckets in the worst of ways. Spurlin, ball fakes, misses another shot. McDowell gets the miss. Coming up as she draws the personal foul. It goes off Lancedale, her first, but a second chance opportunity for Anderson.
They get to go to the free throw line. They don't shoot a great percentage anyway, but it limits LR from getting out in transition and extending this lead. Now they slow the game down a little bit, go to the free throw line, try to score points with the clock to stop. Tough shot from Spurlin. She's taking some contested shots. I think she started 3 for 3 and has now missed maybe 6 in a row, so credit LR's defense. Start locking her up after that quick start.
One more free throw coming up for McDowell. Gets that one to go down. It's a 12-point game with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. One of these two teams will get their 3rd South Atlantic Conference Tournament trophy. Are in the driver's seat right now. A lot of time left in the final. Stoll a jump shot, short here. Offensive rebound, Crooks. Fields a mid-range jumper. McDowell this time beats Crooks to the basketball. Crooks steps in the passing lane. It gets deflected to the backcourt. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Reynolds. Soft touch. Well, for a player that hasn't seen a lot of action this year and averages 2 points per game, she's played some nice minutes and has 4 off the bench with Bailey on the pine with 3 fouls.
Championship games like this, it's always the unexpected players that make big-time contributing plays. Reynolds may not show up in a great way in the stat sheet by the end of the night. She may or may not, but her play here in relief of Bailey and Wilson, who are both on the bench right now, has been very helpful to help pair with McDowell up front.
Brooks misses the jumper. Another offensive rebound. Fields steps into a shot. She misses it. McDowell is there for the rebound. 9 offensive rebounds for LR so far. Spurlin in transition, too strong. Sheridan taps it, but Fields is there to undercut. 40 seconds to go first half. 10-point Lenoir-Rhyne lead. Reset here. LR can no longer go 2 for 1. Fields misses the layup. Sheridan gets the rebound. Anderson with a chance to make it a single-digit game.
Got to get a good look here. Figure it'll be in the hands of McDowell or Stafford off the bounce.
Stafford with 3, pulls up from the free throw line, halfway down and out. McDowell is fouled. There will be a little bit of time left on the clock. They're going to take a look at this to confirm. But in a 10-point game,
calling it on the floor, I think. So they'll put maybe .2 or .3 on the clock, and it's actually a fine foul because LR just picks up its 4th team foul. So no free throws for McDowell. Anderson will just have to inbound the basketball, and that'll be the half.
Well, that's an interesting call. It is on, because it certainly looks like it was in the act of shooting for McDowell. So like you said, could eventually be a break for Lenoir-Rhyne. It's just a question of how much time do you want to put on the clock. You have to have about half a second to be able to get a catch and shoot situation. Lenoir-Rhyne hasn't scored in the last 3.5 minutes. Regardless of that, they have put the clamps down. Anderson is 5 of 25 after a 5 of 5 start. Actually, the ref just walked over and said that it was in
The one official that went to the scores table had said on the floor. So very interesting to see if maybe they're looking at that too. I don't know if you can look at that towards the end of this half or not. Yeah, you're right. Lenoir-Rhyne head coach Graham Smith right in front of us was asking the official that's away from the monitor, was that a shooting foul or a foul on the floor? And that official said it was a shooting foul, so we'll see what happens here.
If it is free throws, sends McDowell back to the line. 6.7 rebounds for her. Ryan, 13 points, 10 boards from Emily Harmon.
After official review, 0.3 seconds will be placed on the game clock.
So they now do say that it was a shooting foul. They're going to add 0.3 of a second to the clock. And Diamond McDowell is going to shoot 2 foul shots.
Good example, though, of McDowell getting in the lane and grabbing another offensive rebound. Both trips to the line for her now are off of a miss and an offensive rebound by her. An opportunity to get an extra couple of points before the break.
Makes the first foul shot. 7 now for McDowell. LR's had the best player on the floor, but McDowell makes it an 8-point game, and that's how we're going to head into the locker room here inside of Timmons Arena. Emily Harmon already a double-double, and despite no points in the final 3:23 of the first half, Lenoir-Rhyne leads it 35-27 at halftime. Fine performance from Graham Smith's group. Cavaliers wrangling him right now. And he is now ready to roll. We send it over to Adam, who's standing by with Graham Smith.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Graham, defensively, awesome second quarter, but you do go the final 3:30 without scoring. Sum up your team's first half performance.
Yeah, I thought we played great defense. Thought we got off to a slow start offensively and defensively. They were hot coming out. I think we did a great job adjusting. Finally, started to get some stops and some rebounds. We were able to kind of get in the flow offensively, get in a rhythm. I think defensively, we struggled down the stretch in the second quarter to just play defense without fouling and get stops. Kind of fell apart there. We're in great shape right now.
Throughout this tournament, Anderson has done work against teams on the glass. You're plus 10. What have you done to get on the rebounds?
We're battling, we're fighting hard, and we're trying to provide it when the shot goes up. And so for us, it's about effort consistently, not giving up, and just trying to continue to battle and get boards.
Graham, good luck second half.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Michael, back to you.
It's Adam Cavalier with Graham Smith, and at halftime, it is Lenoir-Rhyne on top by 8 against the Anderson Trojans. Good basketball game working here in the first of our doubleheader in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Final. Halftime report coming your way when we return to Timmons Arena
calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
It's great to have you back here at Timmons Arena, where it is Lenoir-Rhyne leading Anderson 35-27 at halftime of the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Championship Final. And time to take a look at the first half highlights from this facility. Anderson got off to a great start, Andrew. Great from the floor. Then it was the defense of LR that turned it up a notch.
Yeah, Jalen Sperlin had got to her spot early on. Anderson offensively was executing perfectly in the opening few minutes of this game. Set the tone well early. Sperlin getting to the rim. She was quiet down the stretch. Lenoir-Rhyne did a good job defensively to her. But Emily Harmon, she was the story of the first half for the Bears. 13 points. Did it from mid-range like you see there. Later on, you'll see the three-point shot. 3 of 3 from long range. 10 rebounds, too. We talk about how effective the Bears have been on the glass. It's because of her impact. Coach Smith said in his interview with Adam, it's been a collective effort, which it has. There's a bunch of different players that have gotten in there to grab rebounds, but Harmon is leading that charge, has been able to do it on the defensive end of the floor and especially offensively, really in all 3 phases of the game.
There was a moment where Anderson didn't make a shot from the floor in 11 minutes. They finally were able to break the seal with about 4 minutes to go in the opening half of play. And after Lenoir-Rhyne builds up a game-high lead of 14 at 31-17 with 4:45 left, starting to get some second chance points from Diamond McDowell. And LR had the answers down the stretch. Azaria Fields with 8 points. She made her first 4 shots from the floor in this game. Brittany Bailey was saddled with foul trouble, but she had the mid-range jump shot going. She has 3 personal fouls. Although Anderson went on a 10-4 run after she exited the floor with that 3rd personal foul. Anderson just couldn't quite get enough stops defensively, and Lenoir-Rhyne has hit 5 out of 7 from 3-point range in the opening 20 minutes. Excellent basketball cooking here at Timmons Arena in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Final. It is Lenoir-Rhyne leading Anderson 35-27 at halftime. Men's game coming up later today. And after 20 minutes of play, it's Lenoir-Rhyne on top by 8. And the Bears looking to win their 3rd league tournament championship. Step out for a break. We'll have more when we come back to Timmons Arena in a moment on Flow Sports.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There is an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
We're back here at halftime where it is Lenoir-Rhyne leading at 35-27 at the break. When we come back, we'll hear from Anderson coach Jonathan Barbary about the changes that his group needs to make entering half number 2. Lenoir-Rhyne on top by 8 at halftime. And we'll have the second half and a chat with Jonathan Barbary when we come back in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship game next on Flow Sports.
You can feel it as you approach. You can feel it from the mountains, from the river, from the front porches and the bike paths, from the bats and the balls, from the main streets and the not-so-main streets. You can't help but feel that it's different here, more refreshing here, so that after a few days here, you'll feel different too. Greenville, South Carolina. Truly the breath of fresh air you've been waiting for.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
At halftime in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship bout, it's Lenoir-Rhyne, the number 3 seed out of the Piedmont, that had to win at Tusculum and take down Catawba to get to the final for the first time since 2014, leading by 8 at the break against Anderson, the number 4 seed out of the Piedmont. LR 37% shooting, Anderson 33% shooting, but the Bears used a 17-0 first half run to take a 14-point lead, and they lead right now by 8. And we send it over to Adam Cavalier. He's standing by with Anderson coach Jonathan Barbary.
Thank you very much, Michael. JP, if I were to tell you that you limited LR to 25% shooting in the second quarter, probably be pretty excited, but it came through your own offensive swoons. How do you continue the good defense while tamping down on what the Bears have been able to keep you to do?
Yeah, I think we got a little happy with our outside Jays. It's tough. Everybody knows we go inside, so what do? They pack it, and it makes it tough. And when you hit your first 3, you get excited and think they're all going to fall. You got to stay within the offense, let that come back to you and get it later. But, the biggest thing, I know you said that about the second quarter, but the second quarter made us the angriest because of our transition D. You can't leave the shooters open in transition. Everybody knows that. They're a wide out spread, and you got to be ready to find those shooters.
Biggest key for success for your team in the second half?
Do it one basket at a time and not try to do it all at once.
All right, JP, thanks for the time. Good luck second half.
Thank you.
All right, Michael. Andrew, back to you.
That's Coach Jonathan Barbary's thoughts after the opening 20 minutes of hoops. 8-point game. Anderson's had some comebacks this season, being down by big margins, but certainly from an offensive perspective, they need Brittany Stafford to step up. She has just 2 points. They have to find a way to get easier buckets as well and play that high-low game.
Yeah, Stafford and McDowell especially, too, are going to have to find ways to be effective offensively, but give credit to both defenses because both teams came out shooting the basketball pretty well, and Anderson was able to slowly sneak back into this game because we talked about Lenoir-Rhyne's struggles to end the half offensively. Despite all of that, though, Anderson only still trails by 8 points, so it's going to come down to whether or not Anderson's offense can get going or can Lenoir-Rhyne's offense get back to what it was able to do so well, especially at the end of that first quarter into the second.
Lenoir-Rhyne in the last 3 years had been 20 games under 500. Hadn't been to a semifinal since 2019. They're 20 minutes away from a third championship. Anderson basketball to start the second half. Can they get a bucket early and put the pressure back on the Bears? Bailey back on the floor with 3 personal fouls, has the ball at the high post. McDowell, a running start, gliding with a right-hand layup. That's a good way to get an easy bucket out of the half.
A perfectly run set right out of the half by the Trojans. You get McDowell with a full head of steam with her strong hand all the way to the basket. Well-designed play to start the half.
Harmon, she does the exact same thing, this time a behind-the-back dribble. 12 for Harmon. She had 39 against the Trojans last December. McDowell underneath for Bailey. Bailey falls away, can't wedge the shot in. One and done again for Anderson. Harmon. Fields gets to the block. Crooks steps into a jumper. Good short though, and here comes McDowell into the front court. 8-point differential.
Better transition defense by Anderson forced Lenoir-Rhyne into an offensive set in the half court.
And a turnover as well as Stoll comes out of there with it. Fields kicks it out. Lansadell just missed that three-pointer. That was a great look for the team's leader from outside.
A rare miss. 5 of 8 now. Lenoir-Rhyne had started 5 of 7 in that first half from behind the arc. A lot of it coming in transition.
Sperlin, she's aggressive and efficient early. Hasn't scored since the opening minutes and airballs this. And the struggles offensively for Anderson continue, and Bailey's coming out of the game. And how about Reynolds, a player this season that is averaging 8.5 minutes per game. She's back on the floor. And the first big to come off the bench. Hadn't played in the conference tournament yet. Harmon. This Crooks giving it right back to Emily, and her shot is blocked. Sperlin got a piece. LR wanted a foul, no whistle. Jalen Sperlin, a shot block. Harmon knows that she's not going to shoot from distance. Sperlin on the baseline, short again. A lot of her shots today have been left short. 2-on-1 break. Fields misses the layup. Rowland saves it in bounds, but Crooks is there. And she draws the foul. A lot of the 50-50 balls today have gone to Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, Rowland had possession there, but was forced to the baseline, just had to throw it back into play. You see Crooks take it into the lane, draw the contact from Reynolds to get fouled. I like this change, though, from head coach Jonathan Barbary going to Ashlyn Sheridan, a quietly really important piece off the bench. Part of the all-freshman team in the South Atlantic Conference. Sperlin has struggled a little bit. Give her a little bit of a break. Let her reset and see if Sheridan, the freshman, can give you some good minutes.
Crooks sinks a pair of foul shots, and it's back to a 10-point game. Each team hadn't scored in 2 minutes until those points from Crooks. Anderson behind by 10, looking to avoid a third consecutive loss in the finals. McDowell. Anderson trying to find that high-low action, but LR continues to block it off. Reynolds works through Stoll, held ball, Lenoir-Rhyne basketball.
This is textbook help side defense from Hannah Stoll. Watch her come over. She was out of your picture. All of a sudden, she appears right in the correct spot to tie up Reynolds. Phenomenal defensive play.
McDowell hit a layup 13 seconds in. Anderson hasn't scored yet, or since that, in the second half. Sheridan grabs the board after Harmon misses the jumper. And Stafford get going. She's had some solid second halves this year. She's only scored 11 now in 2.5 games against Lenoir-Rhyne. Sheridan from the elbow. Stole a good block out, and a foul is whistled, and it's on Lenoir-Rhyne. I think if this is on Fields, it's her third, and indeed it is.
This is all effort by Diamond McDowell. Doesn't really have a great chance to grab that offensive rebound. It was hit so short off the rim that it was beyond her reach, but she does enough to leap into the air to force the contact.
No foul this time around. Poked out a play by Stoll. Anderson win 7 minutes without points in the first half. They've now gone nearly 3.5 minutes without points here in half number 2. Sheridan throws it out for Rowland. She hoists up a 3. Wide left, Anderson 2 of 7 from outside. Brooks, one dribble, over McDowell, can't put it down. Stafford a running start. Anderson trying to put a dent to the deficit, having not scored in 3.5 minutes. Stafford finally converts from the floor. She had been 0 of 3 prior to that. But we highlighted her at the beginning. She is so important to Anderson being able to get buckets from the guard position.
Absolutely, and she is one that can knock down perimeter shots, and with Lenoir-Rhyne packing this defense in, they've got to knock down shots. They don't have to be threes, but they got to be perimeter shots outside the paint.
After a Harmon missed, Rowland left open, banks in a 3. It might be Sunday, but how about Rowland using the glass? Down to a 5-point game.
Exactly how Anderson's going to have to score. They'll be able to get some points in the paint, but they cannot rely on it.
Fields gliding in. She's into double figures for the 11th time.
The luxury that Graham Smith has. He's got 2 really good guards, Harmon and Fields, that can take any other guard in the conference off the bounce and all the way to the rim every single time.
Stafford keeps it inside. Sheridan. Good defense from Lansdale, who gets a block on McDowell, but Reynolds cleans it up. Anderson had been held in check on second chance opportunities in the first. They're attacking the glass a little stronger here in the second half. 5-point game, 4.5 to go in the third. A championship on the line. Stoll's shot blocked by Stafford, just her 6th block of the year. Anderson starting to see some momentum. The defense has turned it up. LR's missed 8 of its first 10 shots from the field here in half number 2. It's a 5-point game. LR on top here in the final on Flow Sports.
Sure, we've been around a while. 171 years to be exact. Founded on the banks of a creek. This creek, Mossy Creek. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are found here and here and here and here, and also here in the classroom, on the field. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are. We are family on a journey of discovery.
I found my passion.
I found my calling.
I found family.
I found a way to lead. I found a place to call my own.
I found purpose.
There's something for everyone.
We are.
We are.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
We're back here at Timmons Arena. Brittany Stafford drops in a jump shot from the baseline. And then Zan Rowland, a little bank shot from long range. And it's down to a 5-point game here in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship game. With Andrew Rogers and Adam Cavalier, I'm Michael Watching and our entire crew delighted to have you along for the ride here on Championship Sunday. Harmon. Sheridan is on her now. Harmon, a teardrop. Swish. 14 for Harmon. She can get that shot anytime she wants to.
Yeah, doesn't have to take it all the way to the rim, doesn't have to settle for a shot beyond the elbow, can go to that float game in between the elbow and the block. A nice looking shot from Harmon in the painted area.
Anderson has received point scoring from unexpected sources. There's one of them. Reynolds puts in the layup. She's got 6.
Well, her season high is 7. Certainly has made a huge impact getting what is usually Nelia Wilson's minutes off the bench. It's been Korea Reynolds, and she's delivered.
She'd scored a grand total of 9 points since January. Harmon misses this shot and a foul whistle on Lenoir-Rhyne. Crooks called for the foul. Her second.
Michael, this game's got the feel of like Lenoir-Rhyne has controlled this game, but they have not put away Anderson and kept the lead at double digits. You've given life to the Trojans, a team that really has not played well at all in this game, and they only find themselves down by 5.
Sheridan, good ball fake and a fall away, but left it short. Would have made it a 1-score game. Harmon, good entry pass. Hudson, first bench points of the game for Lenoir-Rhyne. Hudson gets it back to 7. Stafford backs it out and sets it up. Shot clock winding to 10. Rowland. McDowell on the block. Forces it up, misses it, snatches it back. Another opportunity, another miss, another offensive rebound. And a timeout from Anderson. Brings us to a pause in play. Offensive rebounding for Anderson starting to add up, but it's still a 7-point differential. 2:21 to go in the third. Can Anderson get back before the fourth? We'll find out when we come back to Timmons Arena.
Tuscaloosa University is the right choice for your degree.
Your professors will know you, and you will meet students from all over the world.
You can do cutting-edge research.
You'll have fun.
And best of all, you can afford it.
We offer associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees and more than 60 majors and minors within a caring Christian environment. Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Hummel, the president of Tusculum University, and I invite you to become a pioneer, a member of the Tusculum family.
It's just a little scrape.
What if you let go of fear?
Let's get back on the bike.
Let go of doubt. Live for the now. Follow your passions. Challenge your thinking. Learn something new. Whether that's in the classroom, on the field, or in your service to others. At Wingate, you can explore close to 40 majors. Get the faculty support you need to thrive with an average class size of less than 25. Experiment, engage, push harder, and turn your enthusiasm for learning into the power to make a difference.
Welcome back to Timmons Arena, where Emily Harmon has a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds and a three-time All-League pick. Second-teamer this year has guided the way. First the shot, then the pass to Hudson, and Lenoir-Rhyne leads it by 7. First two meetings had a combined 14 ties and 19 lead changes. We've had just one of each so far in this game. Anderson led the first 9 minutes. A 17-0 LR run has kept the Bears on top. McDowell, left wing three, short. Reynolds was right there for a layup, but it went right over the top of her head. 2 minutes to go in the third. It was an 8-point game at halftime. Anderson has only been able to shave 1 point off of that right now. It's been as close as 5 on 3 occasions here in the second half. 6 on the shot clock. Hudson spins it in past Reynolds, and it's back to 9.
Good response from Lenoir-Rhyne on both ends of the floor. They've forced a scoring drought, 5 straight misses from Anderson. They've been able to score from Brandy Hudson baskets on the other end.
Sheridan gets to the lane, tough running left-hand shot. McDowell a recycle, and a foul whistled on Reynolds. Point-blank opportunities for Anderson, and they just can't put it in.
Trojans are crashing the glass. They are getting offensive rebounds, their brand of basketball, but they're not finishing inside. It almost looks like McDowell and Reynolds are looking for contact. Diamond McDowell's got 18 rebounds now and 8 offensive rebounds, 8 of the team's 10. They're getting the boards now. They're just not being able to finish right now. Credit Lenoir-Rhyne defensively inside.
Fields aggressive. A dozen now for Fields, and it's back to double figures. 11-point game, 1 minute to play in the third. Another scoring drought for Anderson, nearly 3 minutes. Wilson, tough shot, hits the side of the backboard. Anderson has missed 7 in a row from the floor. The defense for LR has been magnificent.
Again, it's all about how far out Nalaya Wilson has to catch that basketball. She works so hard to finally get it and then has to force one up because she's so far away from the basket, is used to being closer, but when you force her out more toward the elbow, it creates that tough opportunity.
Fields finds Stoll. Big three on the way. It's short. And who touched it last? Wilson with 10.8 to go in the third period. It's a 6-0 LR run, just as the gap had closed to 5.
Great hustle by Stoll. Knew she missed it and did enough to force Wilson to knock it out of play.
Under 10 to play here in the third. Harmon, who else would you go to? Block shot from McDowell. 3 seconds left. Ball comes out. Gathers at the buzzer. Too strong, but a good close to the quarter again for Lenoir-Rhyne. They closed the first quarter on a 6-0 run. They were able to close the second quarter strong. And here in the third, a 6-0 burst has it at an 11-point game, 49-38. 10 more minutes to play here from Timmons Arena. The Bears 10 minutes away from a title. Or can Anderson make a comeback? We'll find out when we come back.
For the next 4 years, this is where your tomorrow takes shape.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
If you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
If you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Lenoir-Rhyne 10 minutes away from a championship. They've been able to get the job done on the interior in this contest. 18 points in the paint. They've been attacking the cup, and they've scored 6 in a row as Anderson has failed to score in nearly 4 minutes. If Anderson is to win this game, they have to find some offense. They're shooting 31% in this game.
I mentioned that at that 3-minute mark that Lenoir-Rhyne was allowing Anderson to hang around, see if they can put away the Trojans early in the fourth quarter.
Lansdale blocks the jumper. Stoll saves it in. And here comes the Bears, leading it by 11 in a game in which they've led by as many as 14. Harmon has done everything for LR. A double-double in this one. Stoll draws a foul, and Hannah Stoll is going to the free throw line. Well, I think this is a good time to appreciate this Lenoir-Rhyne program, because a few years ago, this team was pretty much on the outside looking in of conference tournaments. The only reason why they made it a couple of years ago was because the league expanded it to every team making it. They finished 11th during that COVID season. Then you have Lenoir-Rhyne at 28-47 the last 3 years. You have players like Hannah Stoll that started her career at Coker, never reached the conference tournament. Get them here, and now they lead by 13 with 9.5 to play in the championship game. Wilson at the high post. Sheridan, the second person through. Puts in the jump shot. Big make there for Sheridan. She's got 5. Anderson ends a scoring drought that lasted 4 minutes. Shooting 36% from the field, but they've made all 8 foul shots. Buried 5 of 10 from deep. A foul whistled on Sheridan with a hand check.
Probably a fine foul for Sheridan, too. She was beat on the Stoll roll. Stoll was the one that set the screen and got in really good position inside. Sheridan kind of grabbed her. Actually probably works out for Anderson. It probably would have been an easy layup for Stoll.
Harmon triggers to Stoll. Lenoir-Rhyne has been in control of this game since taking the lead at the end of the first quarter. Fields works around a screen. Tough layup, but another one goes in. 14 for Fields.
It's been all about Fields and Harmon. They've been able to get around the extra help side defender of Anderson, which most of the time is a front court player.
Sperlin makes the shot, plus draws the foul. Sperlin had missed 8 straight shots from the floor prior to that one. Sperlin gets to go to the line, 63% as you take a look at this dribble drive, and Lansdale called for the foul. Sperlin misses the free throw. Good box out from Crooks. Well, Blakely Crooks is 1 of 9 from the field with 6 points. You wouldn't think LR would be up by double figures in the fourth quarter with their leading scorer being held down. Harmon, 8 on the shot clock. Harmon has her shot blocked by Sheridan. A break now for Anderson. McDowell, Sperlin. Feeds it to the corner. Sheridan, a three-pointer. Has to have it and does. And it's down to 8 with 7.5 to play.
A rare opportunity where Anderson gets out and runs and kind of does what Lenoir-Rhyne did a lot in the first half. Grab a defensive rebound, get out and run and find an open shooter.
Anderson has now made 3 of his last 5 threes. Crooks to the block, missed the layup. McDowell impacted it. Crooks is down, so 5 on 4 for Anderson, down 8. Stafford. Bailey from the free throw line does take advantage. Anderson has made 4 shots in a row, and it's down to 6. 7-0 Anderson run. This is what you expect in March. The tournament title on the line. 7 on the shot clock. Harmon has to go. Stoll up and under. Tough shot over both McDowell and Bailey. She missed it, but gets it back. 12 offensive rebounds.
Phenomenal defense, and it's almost back-breaking when you do phenomenal defense for 25, 30 seconds and then don't get the miss.
3 on the shot clock. Stoll is fouled with 1 on the shot clock. And that is a tough break. They called on Sperlin, who was on the ground.
McDowell thought maybe it was on her. Let's get a look. That ball was touched by Sperlin. Can't tell exactly if there's contact on the arm. Certainly another tough moment for an Anderson team that again played great defense for a long time, just couldn't get the defensive rebound.
Lenoir-Rhyne's the best free throw shooting team in the league. They've made all 9 foul shots that they've attempted in the game now. And now, of course, they miss. Because I said that. 7-point game, 6 minutes to play. Anderson has made 4 shots in a row. Harmon deflects, and Stoll comes out of there with it. Has Harmon done everything today or what? Ryan has been methodical in the half court. Really a steal. Sperlin's almost stepped in. Instead, Fields might have gotten away with a walk. Missed the shot. McDowell with her 22nd rebound. That sets the SAC tournament record for a game and for a tournament. Bailey misses the shot. Harmon the rebound. Number 12 for her. She got lucky there to maintain her dribble. 7-point game, nearly midway through the 4th. Anderson has been as close as 5 in the second half. Can they get any closer down the stretch? Gotta have stops. Fields has had such a good game, but misses that one. Tied for the team lead with 14 points. Stafford shovels it back. Sheridan a running start. McDowell, they call a foul. It's a block. Count the basket, and 1, and a chance to get it down to 4 after the break. Diamond McDowell has controlled the glass. She has 2/3 of the team's rebounds, and she has a chance to make it a 4-point game when we return. A championship on the line. Bears by 5. Stick with us for the stretch run.
The NCAA debates to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher, let's turn to page 32, or a successful dentist, I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
We're back inside of Timmons Arena where Anderson has been able to make a push back into this ball game. Thanks to Diamond McDowell, they made 5 of 6 shots. Trojans, after trailing by 13 at 53-40 with 8:25 to go, has been able to rattle off a 9-3 run to get within 5. This is the closest they've been in the second half. But McDowell a chance at the line. Her 22 rebounds is a tournament record for a game overall and a championship game, obviously. And she's brought her tournament total to 51. Makes the foul shot. It's a 10-3 Anderson run. And this is the closest they've been since the first half. Now full court press from Anderson. Trojans aiming for their third title, first since 2019. Bears aiming for their third, first since 2009. Crooks. It's been quiet. Fields, Harmon. Shot clock late again. 5. Harmon wants a 3. Wide left and a rebound to Diamond McDowell and a chance to get it to a one-score game. Hasn't been a one-score game since the end of the first quarter. McDowell thought about a 3, used the ball fake. Banks in the jumper, and it's a 2-point game for the first time since the first quarter.
Lenoir-Rhyne's offense is all out of whack. I think they were beginning to kind of slow the game down a little bit, and they've run their offense later in the shot clock than they need to. This is better, more action.
Wow, about Crooks. Excellent move. Crooks was 1 of 10 prior to making that shot, and it puts an end to a 12-3 burst. 3.5 to go. Both sides executing at a high level. Sheridan. Underneath it goes McDowell. Stafford. Sperlin hoists up a mid-range shot. It's wide right. Bailey has the recycle. On the baseline, McDowell slips a defender and makes it a 2-point game again at 56-54. Under 3 minutes to go.
Great spacing by Anderson. It's what allowed the bounce feed from McDowell on the block. There was no backside defender because of the spacing.
Fields gets shut down. Harmon. Late shot clock again, down to 7. Lansadell, a 3! Shredding the strings from deep from Megan Lansadell. How about that hit by the junior from Stamford, Connecticut? Sperlin blocked by Lansadell. How about that sequence by Lansadell? A 3 at one end, late in the shot clock, and the block at another end.
We've raved about what Fields and Harmon and Stull have been able to do, the 3 double-figure scores, but it's been Crooks and Lansadell getting it done here in the late stages.
2:15 to play. Bailey lobs a pass underneath looking for McDowell, and she pokes it out of play. Ill-timed turnover number 10 for Anderson. (59-54). Bears looking to gain some separation. Hudson on the block. Loses the ball. McDowell straight down. The freshman Sheridan loses the ball at the other end. Harmon, of course, comes out of there with it. Well, that was a critical moment. Instead of getting it down to single digits again, you turn it over. Back-to-back turnovers for Anderson.
Getting this late into the game now. A must stop for Anderson defensively with 90 seconds left.
Foul by Sperlin with 9 on the clock. That was the final foul to give for Anderson with 1:29 to go.
Defense by Sperlin just bumped Fields enough to force her to the deck. It's a fine foul because you had one to give, but there was only 9 on the shot clock, so you were close to maybe getting a defensive stop. Now you got to reset and give Lenoir-Rhyne 20 more seconds to burn.
Harmon is 2 of 9 in the second half. And a foul whistled. It's an offensive foul on Hudson with 1:18 left.
Actually calling on Lansadell. Hudson goes to the bench. Get another look at it. Couldn't actually see in real time. There was a lot of contact on the illegal screen. Either way, though, another chance for Anderson to get it back down to a possession game here.
Stafford. Sperlin. Want the high-low action for Bailey. Stole on her. Instead, Sheridan. Sheridan, a three. Way too strong. Under a minute to play. Fields breaks away for the Pack. And a timeout from Lenoir-Rhyne with 53.5 seconds to go. Anderson has gone cold at the wrong time. They have not scored since McDowell layup made it 56-54. There's another look at that previous foul, and indeed it was Lansdale trying to set the screen. So what do you draw up here?
Well, if you're the Bears, first off, you got to get the basketball inbound. Inbounds, 53 seconds left. If you're Anderson, you're probably going to foul. You try to trap the initial inbound pass, and really you got to try to get it out of the hands of Emily Harmon, 86% free throw shooter. You mentioned it, though. This is a phenomenal free throw shooting team. They haven't, I think they missed maybe one today, one of the best teams in the conference. They are the best team in the conference, so you got to force somebody else to knock down a free throw. Lansdale could be an option, 4 of 5 this season. Fields is a 75% free throw shooter. Ideally, anybody but Harmon, because she has been so effective at the line. But Anderson's got to be thinking here, you got to go for a steal, trap the ball screen, or trap the inbound pass. Look to try to create a turnover and try to score on the other end. But Lenoir-Rhyne's been very good and stingy on that end.
And on top of that, the possession arrow favors Lenoir-Rhyne. Harmon grabs the basketball. 86% free throw shooter.
Good decision to play this one out.
Absolutely have to get a stop now if you're Jonathan Barbary's group. 6 on the shot clock. Harmon puts in the layup. Clutch bucket by the 3-time all-conference pick. Stafford is fouled, and Anderson a chance to make shots with a clock stop. But how about Emily Harmon? You knew who the ball would go to, and she was clutch.
Phenomenal work out of the ball screen, gets around Bailey. On the crossover dribble, gets all the way to the rim. That's been the story of the day. Emily Harmon and her play on both ends of the floor. You put the ball in your best player's hands when it matters the most, and she delivers.
Harmon had a great career against this Anderson group, 25.5 points per game against Anderson in 6 career games. And Harmon coming up clutch. LR's made its last 3 shots from the field. But the biggest story of the day has to be the scoring droughts of Anderson. They went 7 minutes without points in the second quarter, nearly 4 minutes in the third, and they're at 2.5 minutes here.
And you have to credit Lenoir-Rhyne for that effort. They have packed the defensive assignments into the painted area. They have forced Anderson to the perimeter, and when they've gotten it into the painted area, it's been difficult in contested shots.
McDowell wants a 3. That's wide right. Offensive rebound, Sheridan. Loose ball. Sperlin a reverse. That doesn't go. And a foul is whistled underneath the bucket. Hannah Stoll is called for her 3rd. Puts LR over the limit. And free throws coming up in a 7-point game.
A lot of time comes off the clock there. Credit the Trojans, though. They continue to battle on the glass. Ultimately, will come away with a pair of opportunities to cut into this 7-point lead. It'll be difficult, though, because you won't be able to defend in the backcourt. Lenoir-Rhyne's got 3 timeouts, so after a make or miss, presuming the Bears get the miss, Graham Smith is going to call timeout and advance the basketball.
McDowell sinks the shot. What an effort she's had today. 18 points and a tournament record 23 rebounds. Second free throw miss. Sperlin taps it, then saves it. Bailey, Stafford for 3. Too strong. Sperlin a rebound. She puts up a 3. That's way off. McDowell taps it back in. LR calls for time. It's a 4-point game, but is there enough time left? 5.6 seconds to go in the game.
Boy, oh boy, Anderson got exactly what it needed. even though they missed the free throw. How about the effort by Sperlin? Leaps into the air, falling into the bench. Bailey's in the right spot. If that Stafford three goes down, boy, it's a three-point game. You've got 10, maybe 12 seconds left to play. McDowell ends up getting the 2 off the miss. Credit the effort, but yeah, you're right. Is there enough time for Anderson to try to get a basket here? You only have 1 timeout as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you get a steal, maybe you can make something happen with 5.6 seconds to go in the game. It is Lansadell who hit that clutch 3 after Anderson had trimmed it to 2. Lansadell to inbound right in front of us. Bounces it, Harmon. She's immediately fouled. 1 second comes off of the clock. And Emily Harmon goes to the line. 16 points, 12 rebounds for the junior from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Great decision by Lansadell. Fields was open cutting toward the backcourt, but you get it to the better free throw shooter, and Harmon, who had come through a screen from the painted area, would cut perfectly to get to the line.
Harmon's first foul shot, right down the canister. Best free throw shooting team in the league. They've made 80% or better in 6 of the last 10 games. And they're at 10 of 11 in this one. Harmon makes the second. Anderson calls for time. It's a 2-possession game at 63-57, but Anderson burns its final timeout. So they need a miracle here if they're to win the tournament championship. What a performance, though, by Lenoir-Rhyne. You give up 5 straight makes to begin the game. You fall into an early 5-point hole. You score 17 unanswered points, and that run will eventually be the difference as Lansadell hit that shot. 2.5 to go in the game, just as Anderson had trimmed it to 2. The closest it had been since the first half. Harmon gets a shot late in the shot clock. And the Bears 4.5 seconds away from getting some hardware.
See Coach Graham Smith in the huddle just to my right, kind of laughing and smiling with his players. They kind of realize this moment. Job's not finished yet. Anderson maybe still has a fighting chance here. You got to get a quick 3. And then you expect maybe then Lenoir-Rhyne to foul, or to call timeout, I should say, to advance the basketball. A lot of work to do, but you got to credit both these teams. It's been a well-played basketball game on both sides. Lenoir-Rhyne has controlled it. They've played phenomenally on both ends of the floor throughout this game.
Lenoir-Rhyne needs 1 more stop. Sperlin inbound the basketball. Trojans need a quick 3. Down 6. McDowell catches. It's Sperlin to the bucket. She makes the layup. 2.5 seconds to go. Graham Smith calls for time, but it's a 4-point game with 2.2 seconds left. I was going to say, had you called a timeout in your LR, you want to pass the basketball in towards the bucket to avoid a deflection and a half-court heave. But now in a 4-point game, basically all you got to do is get the ball in any way possible and run the rest of the clock down.
Correct. 2.2. You know, the only possible case scenario is Anderson steals the inbound, gets fouled, shooting a half-court shot and makes it. I mean, we're talking about, you know, a play that will never probably happen. And now getting the basketball in, and Anderson will foul, and the Bears can continue to ice this game at the free throw line. Both of these teams should be in the Southeast Regional. These are some of the best teams in the region, especially in the conference tournament, and they're in the same division too, and they played each other so much.
2.2 seconds to go. Lenoir-Rhyne leads it by 4. Lansadell to inbound the ball. Gives it to Crooks. Crooks not fouled, and for the first time in 14 years, Lenoir-Rhyne is the South Atlantic Conference Tournament champs. The hardware is going to Hickory. Lenoir-Rhyne was the last remaining unbeaten in the conference, 14-0. And they are the last team standing in the tournament, winning the title for the 3rd time in school history. The final score, Lenoir-Rhyne 63, Anderson 59.
An exciting game. It was an exciting tournament as well. Credit both teams. Lenoir-Rhyne had to go on the road like Anderson did to just get to Greenville, South Carolina to play here at Furman University inside Timmons Arena. Both went on the road, got the job done to get to this spot. But it's the Bears for a third time this year to beat this Anderson team. Hard to beat a team twice, let it alone the third time, and they got it done.
Adam Cavalier standing by with the winning coach. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Michael Graham. Third title in school history, first one in the bit. What's this mean to you and your program?
It means everything. We talked about this from day one, first team meeting. What was it going to take to get to this point? Our ladies were resilient. They fought 100%. They played for each other. They fought through adversity. They trusted in each other in the process. They bought it. They believed what they could do. And they did it. And that's amazing. It's unreal. All credit goes to them. Obviously, our staff has been amazing. Support from the administration. And we're going to work on it.
17-0 run in the second quarter. You knew Anderson would push back. What did it take to hang on?
Just grit and grit. You know, we had to tough it out. It was a championship game, right? We're going to get everyone's best shot, and our ladies stayed resilient. They continued to fight. They didn't throw their backs against the wall, and they fought through a lot of grit, a lot of heart, a lot of toughness.
Emily Harmon had a double-double by halftime. Finishes with 18 and 12. Break down her effort in the title.
Emily Harmon is a special player. She's a special player from day one, and she left it on the line. So we had everyone's best effort tonight. She gave her best effort on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, and it showed that it's going to be a big win.
Not any doubt heading into today that you would be in the NCAA tournament, pretty safe in the regional. Literally no doubt after this. What's the process like from here? The season's certainly not over for the Bears.
Not at all, not at all. We've accomplished the goals we want to accomplish so far. We've got more goals to accomplish. This is a great win. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to tonight and tomorrow unwind a little bit and get back to work on Tuesday, prepare for Friday. So we're out.
All right, Graham, go put yourself on a championship t-shirt.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Tell our head coach, Graham Smith. Michael, back to you.
Thanks so much, Adam. Andrew, you look at this team. I mean, the smiles all around. It has been a grind this year. Think about this. 14-0 to begin the year. One off the program record for a start to the season. They were 9-7 in their last 16 games. A team that maybe had stumbled a little bit down the stretch of the year, but right at the right time. Dominant win over Tusculum. Solid effort in a victory yesterday in a grinded-out game in which neither team led by more than 3 in the second half against Catawba. And you come in, you handle every punch against Anderson, and you get a chance to cut down the nets.
Yeah, you mentioned the incredible start to the year, and you know, people maybe thought, is this Lenoir-Rhyne team for real? 14-0, and then they kind of get into the thick of conference play in what was a really good Piedmont division. You finish 9-7, and you enter the tournament with back-to-back losses. So you think, what is this Bears team? Are they still a Southeast Regional team? They put it together when it matters with a dominant effort on the road. You beat a really good Catawba team yesterday. The game you kind of controlled there too as well. You get the job done against the Anderson team that really was the same way. You didn't really know what they would get. They end the regular season on a little bit of a winning streak. So on the road, beat Carson-Newman. You beat Wingate yesterday, and you saw the emotions from them too on the sideline. How often they've been here, but just can't continue to get over the hump. And Lenoir-Rhyne this year gets it done over the Trojans. All around great basketball game, and you knew coming into the tournament that you had 4 really good teams going to compete for a title.
Anderson's jaw-dropping performance from Diamond McDowell, 20 points, 24 rebounds, is overshadowed by Lenoir-Rhyne winning a league title for the 3rd time in program history. And the Bears are champs, and we'll have all the festivities here from Timmons Arena. The public address announcer will bring you through the trophies. We'll have the entire net-cutting ceremony as well. You're going to want to hang out with us because this isn't the only champion we're crowned today. UVA Wise and Catawba in the men's title game is coming up right around 4 o'clock. Stick with us. The post-game ceremonies coming your way here from Timmons Arena in a moment. Lenoir-Rhyne, the league champs, 60-59 winners over Anderson. Hang with us. All the championship festivities coming your way here in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midcourt, where the South Atlantic Conference Commissioner, Patrick Britt, will present the 2023 South Atlantic Conference Basketball Championship Awards. First, for the all-tournament team, as your name is called, please come forward. From Anderson, number 33, Jalen Sperlin. From Anderson, number 4, Diamond McDowell. From Wingate, number 12, Brianna Troutman. From Catawba, number 24, Sarah McIntosh. From Lenoir-Rhyne, number 20, Emily Harmon. From Lenoir-Rhyne, number 10, Hannah Stahl. And from Lenoir-Rhyne, number 30, Blakely Crooks. And now, for the 2023 South Atlantic Conference Pilot Championship Most Valuable Player. From Lenoir-Rhyne, number 20, Emily Harmon. We would now like to recognize our runner-up team for an outstanding effort in today's game. Would the student athletes from Anderson please come forward and accept the tournament runner-up award? A round of applause for a well-played tournament by the Anderson Trojans. And now, would the student athletes of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears please come forward and accept the championship trophy? By winning the SAC championship, Lenoir-Rhyne earns an automatic berth into the NCAA Division II Basketball Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 South Atlantic Conference Basketball Tournament champions, the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne.
Go as high as you need. Drop pass it up to your feet.